almost had a fear of it, but I never thought of it as an irrational fear. I mean, more people die. I remember I used to drive Franken crazy because, you know, Al Franken.
Al Franken, yeah. Senator Al Franken.
Yeah. The Senator Al Franken.
What a funny guy, though.
So the guy, well, he was funny, but I guess he didn't get jokes or something. But I just torture him, you know, and I go up and I go, Al, man, I read in the newspaper. Did you know that more people are killed each year by automobile accidents than by great white sharks? And he goes, what are you, a fucking idiot? And I go, I'm serious, I read this. He goes, well, of course I read you. What are you, an idiot?
Speaking of Al Franken, you write about him in the memoir. You know,
yes,
it's
almost as if you read this memoir.
Yeah, is the speculation...
That's very kind of
Norm, is the speculation that Al Franken,
yes, sir,
wanted the slot on Saturday Night Live to be the news guy?
Yes, he absolutely did.
And when you got it, he quit.
Well, he didn't quit right away, but I think that probably led him toward that. Yeah, he wanted the thing, the update slot, and I didn't really care, you know. And at one point, he almost had it because Lauren wanted a guy to do it with a girl.
Right.
So I go, I ain't doing it, you know. I ain't doing it with a girl. You
wanted to be the solo anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I said, let Franken do it with a girl. That'd be fun to watch.
Right.
Al Franken and a lady. So,
great chemistry already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got enormously lucky because it was the first show of the season, and Steve Martin walked in. And Steve Martin, now he's warmer, but then he was very cold and remote.
Really?
You know, and not in a bad way.
Right. It's just how he works.
It's just how he works.
Yeah.
And you know, he got famous very young, and I'm sure he was, you know. So he walked in, and he goes, oh, I'm sorry, I'll come back. And Lauren, to kind of, I think, to humiliate me, he goes, no, Lauren, I mean, no, Steve, come in. We're having a little discussion. Norm thinks, you know, because Lauren was telling me, Lauren says things in sort of parables or whatever, or parallels, where he'll say, he said, like, the thing about it is, if you get a woman, she'll bring you the sex, and you'll bring her the comedy. It's like Astaire and Rogers, you know. And I'm like, the dancers from the fucking Oregon? And so Steve Martin walked in, and he goes, women, you know, we're having a little discussion. And so then Steve Martin goes, oh, fuck. He goes, I had to do this award show, and they stuck me with some woman, and I had to do it, and it just turned into shit. So then Laura's like, oh, some support from an unexpected...
Doing the play-by-play, huh?
Yeah.
So you mean Steve, in a way, saved you because it sold your point.
In a way, he helped me greatly.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's interesting that you kind of had the vision that you wanted to be the guy doing the news. You didn't want to sort of get involved in a duo kind of thing.
No. Like, because they would tell me, well, what about Dan? And I love Dan Aykroyd probably better than anybody that ever was on that show. But they said, what about Dan Aykroyd? You know,
Jane Curtin.
With
Jane Curtin,
yeah. And Jane, you ignorant slut. And I'm like, yeah, but name one other thing other than that.
Yeah, you don't remember it.
It wasn't good. He played a guy from the theater. I remember he had a hat.
Yes.
He'd play like a Walter Winchell or something.
Yeah.
So he was playing a character, and it was good. You know, there was only Chevy, Dennis, and me.
Yeah.
You know,
Dennis did a good job with it.
Honest. Yeah, Dennis was great.
That's true.
Dennis was great.
You didn't like Seth?
You know what I think is unfair? Is Dennis, they go, now he's not funny, you know, because he changed his politics.